Hey there! Let's dive into something that might sound, well, simple. The present simple tense. But trust me, this thing is a powerhouse. If you want to sound clear, confident, and just natural when you speak English, this is the secret sauce.
Okay, so I've got a little riddle for you. What on earth do your morning coffee, the sun rising, and tomorrow's train schedule all have in common? I mean, they sound totally unrelated, don't they?
You guessed it. The answer is the present simple tense. Seriously, this one little tense is doing all that heavy lifting. It covers your daily grind, big universal truths, and even stuff that's happening in the future. It really is the workhorse of English grammar, and we're going to break down exactly how it does it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what this tense really is. Then we'll build it, both the positive and the negative. We'll tackle that one special rule you've got to remember, look at the 4 main ways to use it, and then, put it all together. Sound good? Let's do it.
All right, first things first. What even is the present simple tense? Forget all that complicated grammar speak you might have heard. Let's just get a straight, simple definition that actually, makes sense.
Okay, this is the key. The most important thing to get is that the present simple isn't usually about what's happening this very second. Nope. It's for stuff that happens over and over again, things that are always true, and things that are set in a schedule. It's really the tense for all things routine and all things that are just facts.
Okay, so we've got the what down. Now how do we actually build a sentence with it? Let's look at the basic recipe for positive and negative sentences, and I promise it's way easier than you might think.
This little chart here lays it all out for us. So you see, there are kind of 2 teams of subjects. You've got I, you, we, they on one side. That's the easy team. You just use the verb as is, like work. But then you've got he, she, it on the other side. And for them, you've got to add that all-important S. When we go negative, we bring in some backup, do not or does not.
Let's look at that difference side by side. If the subject is we, you say, we don't work. Easy peasy. But the second you switch to he, the whole thing changes to he doesn't work. It feels like a tiny change, but man, getting that right makes all the difference.
And that right there, that little difference, brings us to the biggest, most important rule of the present simple. It's all about what happens with he, she, and it. Seriously, if you can lock this one rule down, you're pretty much halfway there.
So how do we add that S correctly? Well, for most verbs, it's super simple. Walk becomes walks. Done. But if the verb ends in a hissing or buzzing sound like sh or ch, we add es. Think about it. She watches. It just sounds better, right? Watches is kind of a mouthful. And the last little trick. If a verb ends in a consonant and then a y, like study, you drop the y and add ies. So study becomes studies.
Awesome. So now we know how to build the sentences. Now for the really useful part. When do you actually use this thing in real life? Let's get into the 4 main times the present simple is going to be your go-to.
Okay, use number 1. And this is probably the one you'll use the most, habits and routines. We're talking about anything you do on repeat. The stuff you do every day, every week, maybe even every year. It's basically the soundtrack to your life.
And here's a classic example. She drinks coffee every morning. See? It's not about her drinking coffee right this second. It's a habit. That little clue, every morning, tells you everything you need to know. It's a routine, so boom, present simple, she drinks.
All right, use number 2. This is for things that are just facts, general truths. We're not talking opinions here. These are things like scientific laws, things that are always true, stuff about the world that we all just accept.
Like this one. The sun rises in the east. I mean, you can't really argue with that, can you? It did it yesterday, it's doing it today, it's going to do it tomorrow. It's a solid universal fact. And that's exactly why we say rises, present simple.
Okay, number 3 is a bit of a curveball, because it's actually about the future. How cool is that? Anytime you're talking about something on a fixed schedule or a timetable, think trains, planes, classes, movie times, you use the present simple. Check this out. The train leaves at 7 a.m. tomorrow. The action is in the future, right? Tomorrow. But because it's locked into a schedule, we talk about it like it's a current fact. The train leaves. You'll hear this constantly, and once it clicks for you, it's a real level-up moment.
And last but not least, our 4th use is for things that aren't really actions. They're more like states of being. We're talking about verbs that describe feelings, thoughts, or what you own. Words like be, know, like, want, and have.
For instance, they have a large house. Owning the house isn't something they're doing in this moment, like running or jumping. It's their current state. It's a fact of their life. So we just use the simple form, they have.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We've seen all the parts, and now you can see how this one, supposedly simple tense, is actually this incredibly versatile tool for talking about, well, almost everything, from your morning routine to plans for tomorrow.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's these 4 keys. Anytime you want to talk about one of these things, a little light should go off in your head that says, aha, present simple. Habits, facts, schedules, and states. Just remember those 4, and you'll nail it every time.
And now, it's your turn. You've got the toolkit. So here's a little challenge for you. What's one general truth you can state about the world? Go on, say it out loud. Use the present simple. Start putting this awesome tense to work for you, like right now.